I'm a student athlete. I play volleyball at the University of Manitoba. I think I was 13. It started in grade 7. My neighbor across the street, she was a few years older than me, and she played club volleyball. And I remember going with my mom to watch one of her games, and I was like, this is so cool. And I played soccer at the time. So I was like, Mom, can I try something new? And then me and my best friend, we went and tried out for the same club, and we made the same team. I was playing soccer at the same time, and I definitely was falling out of love with that a little bit. And playing volleyball, I was like, wow, this is just like totally different, totally new. Like, this is the one I like. Maybe I was just kind of oblivious, but I hadn't really looked into post-secondary or heard much about it. But yeah, it really became real when Ken started talking to me and my parents. And I was like, oh, this is something I can do. Great. I love being at home. I still do to this day. It's just, I am such a homebody at heart. And after meeting like Ken and Michelle and meeting the team, this was clearly the right fit for me. I'm so happy I stayed here. The scariest thing for me, at least going into my first year, was playing with all new people that were not quite a bit, just like a little older than me, I guess. But that was definitely what scared me the most, playing with and against them. But after the first few weeks of practices, I realized how easy it is to like kind of slide in with my team. They were all super outgoing and inclusive to us, and Ken did a really great job at kind of integrating the rookies, especially because we had so many that year, so he's making sure to mix it up in drills. I think the biggest thing that I've learned from being in Manitoba is just the amount of work that it takes from everybody, and not just the players, like the work that Ken and Michelle put in, the work that our Bison support staff puts in. It looks exhausting. I didn't realize quite what goes on behind the scenes. And then also, even for us behind the scenes, like with lifting and everything, my team is super dedicated and super driven. I think that was definitely really good to kind of rub off on me, especially going into my first year. But yeah, hard work was definitely a big one. It still kind of feels like I'm in my first year a little bit. I think it'll feel more real come September because we're finally getting a big rookie class because we lost a lot of seniors. So I think we get 7 or 8. So I'm really excited to see how that dynamic shifts and the new roles that everybody gets to take on the team. Yeah, it's just gonna be super exciting because I feel like we've had the same core of seniors, which were super great for this past 3 years, and now we kind of have to step into that role, but we learn from the best. I think throughout the past few years, our goal has been to win nationals since my first year, as like many teams have the same goal, but we've kind of fallen short the past few years. We got 4th my first year, 3rd last year, and then this year we were kind of like, we just need to leave it all out there. We're losing a bunch of players. And this was just such a special group, especially with the COVID year. We hadn't lost many throughout these last 3 years. So we were like, we need to do this for each other. And just our whole goal this kind of season was to make volleyball fun again, because we were kind of going up and down at the beginning of the season. And we were like, you know what, guys, we just need to have some fun when we're playing and kind of start fresh. And I guess it worked. So special having all the fellow Bison teams come out. We didn't expect that many of the teams to come out. I think everyone did, and there was just so many of them, which was so uplifting for us. And they were so animated in the crowd too, we were definitely not expecting that. They were going crazy, and so that definitely contributed to the win. And just having all of our friends and family being able to come out and past coaches, it was so special. I'm probably gonna win, we're up by a lot, but I was also just kind of sad thinking about how this is my last few moments on the court with this group of people, because we have a lot of we're like 3 seniors on the court, and that was definitely, I think I was more sad than excited, because I was like, I'm gonna miss this team. Like, a championship is so amazing, and I'm so grateful that we won, but I'm really gonna miss my teammates. Being around such hardworking people for these past few years and having the coaches that I've had, that's what's helped me grow as a player. So I don't even think about it as a personal award, because none of that would have been possible if it wasn't for them. Put in the work behind the scenes that nobody else sees, which I think is a really big thing. And it doesn't have to be like renting a gym and setting up a net and going to get reps that way. It can just be like making your parents throw a ball for you or doing it against the wall. Just like be who you are and nothing more. Obviously you want to improve, but in the moment, it's pretty hard to change a lot, especially if there's like a coach or something you want to impress. You can't do anything else in that moment. So just be who you are. It's good enough. I was going through a bit of burnout at the beginning of this year. I had to take the first week off from the regular season and some extra weeks off of practice. I think my biggest takeaway from that was accepting it and recognizing it, which I guess I didn't do at the time. My coaches kind of had to do that. They were like, clearly, like, you need a break. We're giving you a break. Just take this. And I think I'll be better at recognizing that in the future. And also, hopefully it can help other people that I play with, and I can help them out by recognizing the signs with that too. being honest is a big thing, because when I came back from the summer at Next Gen, my coach had a talk with me and my teammate Julia, who was out there with me, and he was like, how are you guys feeling? Are you ready to come back? And like deep down, I knew I wasn't ready to come back, but I was like, yeah, let's go. And the first few practices back, I was just like a shell of myself. I could not, it wasn't even the technical stuff. I was just not in it mentally, and like my heart wasn't in the game. And I should have just been honest and be like, you know what, I'm not feeling 100%. And he would have been totally fine with that. He was fine with it, and he did give me that break. Taking every like down moment to unwind, even if it's just, if it's reading, if it's getting ice cream with my roommates, like anything helps as long as you're not doing volleyball, because a break is so important. I think people overlook that a lot, because I don't know, I definitely underestimated how impactful it could be too. But now, especially from what I dealt with in this fall, I really know how important that is. That was my second year doing it, and it didn't get any less scary, because you're playing with such talented women. From some of them play pro, some of them you play against in Can West, like they're from all over, and it's really intimidating, but it's also such a great learning curve, because you get to learn their systems, their set speeds, and then learn from all the different coaches. And we got to travel to Mexico and the Dominican, which was super exciting, and play against some international teams. I more so just learned how to be adaptable, because when you go out there, you just have to accept their systems for what they are. And then whatever technique you do at school, if it's different from what they run, you have to face it and just change it for the summer, and then know that you're gonna have to change it back for the fall. So I think really just coachability and being adaptable. My favorite thing to do for fun is read. I'm a big reader. It's kind of boring, but that's my favorite thing to do for fun. I would say working out, but I guess that's still like a volleyball type thing. So definitely reading. I like a lot of fiction, a lot of fantasy, and I have a Kindle, and I have Kindle Unlimited, so I can kind of just go from like any genre, and even if it's on Kindle Unlimited, it's cheaper than it would be at a bookstore, and I can take it with me anywhere. So like a bit of everything now. Read on the buses, read on the planes. I read before games. It helps get my mind blank, so I like to read on my Kindle before games. Literally all the time. When I'm not playing volleyball and I'm not doing schoolwork, I'm reading. I'm a pretty fast reader, so I can kind of go through it in like a day or two, where like if that was in a movie, it would be like multiple movies long, and I don't know, I don't have the attention span. I think TikTok has ruined my attention span for movies. Yeah, I just like how books there's so many series and everything, and movies, what movies have that many series? Like Harry Potter? That's it. And I love Harry Potter because it's so long. I think I just overall want to be happy with my choices. I don't want to have any regrets. Like if I play pro for a few years, I don't love it, I want to recognize that early, so I'm not just stuck in a rut. And I definitely do want to do it, so I don't regret not doing it while I had the chance. But I think, yeah, just making sure I make the most out of it I can do right now. Canadian athletics as a whole, but especially women's volleyball, gets overlooked a lot, which is fair, because there's a lot of marketing and media that goes towards volleyball in the US and the NCAA. But I think especially hosting nationals at home this year was definitely really great for us to put ourselves more out there and get the recognition. But yeah, it means a lot to me to be able to represent women's volleyball in Canada. I think there's a lot of athletes I look up to. One's close to me. I've mentioned her so much recently, but Light, who I played with, she was a big mentor to me growing up, even though she's only 3 years older than me, because grade 10 was kind of when I first started realizing like what post-secondary was, and watching the Bisons with my club team. So I think it was really cool to watch her from grade 10, 11, 12, and then get to play with her. Also, Kiera Van Rijk, who's on the A team, obviously a huge inspiration. She's so good. Alexa Gray, like there's just so many players. Yeah, that was when I was injured, so I think I could only play the one game, and I was so sad, because that's when we thought that it was her last year, because she had her senior night that year. And I was so upset. I was like, this is her last year and I can't even play with her. But then she came back, so all was good. In a sport like volleyball, you can't get more than one touch. So what are you gonna do if you don't have that team chemistry, if you don't have that connection? It's super tough. And I think that was a big thing, especially 3 years ago going in, because quite a few players left. So a big focus in my first year was team chemistry and making sure everybody understood their role and could work together really well. And we've worked on that a lot for the past 3 years, and we'll continue to work on it, but it's definitely shown and paid off for us. Doing stuff outside of practice, obviously it's really good for fostering a relationship and chemistry, and also having those conversations in the sports setting and making sure that everybody feels like they can speak their truth, speak their mind, get anything off their chest, and not hold any resentment for anything that happens in practice. So just clarifying like what accountability means and looks like, because for everybody that's different, and you don't want anyone to get offended, especially if it's a rookie going into the first year. and doesn't know how different people do things, it's very important to open that line of communication. So I think that's definitely going to be a big thing for us next year, because 7 new people is a lot. So we're going to have to reestablish all of that, but it's going to be cool.